Hey guys, welcome back. So as promised, I'm going to be sharing with you some of my favorite coffee recipes for the season, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Give it a thumbs up if you do, and consider subscribing before you go. So the first one we're going to be making is one I recently tried at Starbucks, and this is my take on it. It is a pumpkin cream cold brew. So first we're going to make the pumpkin cream, and it's very similar to the one that I showed you guys how to make a couple weeks ago, the sweet cream. I will leave that link down below. For this one, you need cream, brown sugar, pumpkin extract, and condensed milk. And you're going to put that in a saucepan and bring it up to a simmer. You just want it to get warm enough to melt that sugar. Continue stirring it until all the sugar is completely dissolved. You do not want to let this sit on the stove too long because it can burn very easily. And as soon as all of that sugar has dissolved, you can now transfer it over to a container. I like making a lot of this in one batch so that I can use it throughout the week. I find that it's good in the refrigerator for 6 to 7 days, but let me tell you guys, it hardly ever lasts that long in my fridge. And then we're just going to combine that with our cold brew coffee. And you can either buy your cold brew, or I also show you guys how to make it in my last coffee video. So I'm going to leave that link down below as well. But I do like to add a little bit of ice to my cold brew just to keep it nice and cold. And then I add my sweet cream on top. For a special treat, you can top it with some whipped cream and then sprinkle it with a little bit of pumpkin spice. Next up is my take on a cinnamon dolce latte. This one is definitely for the cinnamon lovers out there like myself, and it's one that I feel like you can drink on an everyday basis because it's a little bit easier to assemble, and you can definitely make it a little bit less in sugar if you want. For this one, I am using one of the syrups that I made in my last video, which is a vanilla syrup. And all of the exact measurements that I use for each recipe I will have down below for you guys. But basically I just use a cup of coffee, and then I add some of that vanilla syrup and condensed milk, and I sprinkle some cinnamon. And I top it off with some whole milk. You can use 2% if you want, but I really like the consistency that the whole milk adds to this coffee. And if you have a frother at home or one of those little handheld frothers, you can make your own sweet foam by adding milk, a little bit more of that vanilla, just like a drizzle of it, cinnamon, and then just add it to your frother. And you can top your latte off with the froth, and it's so good. You sprinkle a little bit more cinnamon on top, or you could add whipped cream with a sprinkle of cinnamon to also make this a treat. And the last coffee is definitely for you pumpkin lovers out there. This is a white chocolate pumpkin latte. So we're gonna start off by getting our glass and adding a couple tablespoons of white chocolate chips. And then you wanna add your milk, but you wanna make sure your milk is super hot because this is going to help melt those chocolate chips. And then we're gonna add our super hot coffee to that to also help melt those chocolate chips. So you could totally do all of this on the stove if you want, but I find that just doing it in your cup, it just simplifies things. So I definitely love this method way better than having to like bring out my pots and pans or even microwave it. And the last ingredient is our pumpkin cream that we just made. So since I do keep it in the refrigerator, I like to add it to my coffee frother first to warm it up, and then I add it into my coffee. But like I said, if you're making this on the stove, you can just mix all of the ingredients together and heat them up all at the same time, or you can microwave it. It's totally up to you. Out of all the coffees, this is the one I would say don't skip the whipped cream on. It is so good with whipped cream. It almost tastes like you're eating like a piece of dessert. It's so good. And I like to top it off with a little bit of pumpkin spice and also some white chocolate chips. And yeah, it's so good. This is one that you could actually combine all the ingredients in a crock pot and serve it at your next get together. But yeah, this is just so yummy. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Again, all of the recipes are going to be in the down bar. And also I have a little surprise for you guys. So definitely read the info box and give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.